This conference will now be recorded.
Okay, so in continuation to studies class, so yesterday we discussed that if you are going for material ledger actual costing, all the materials should have price controllers. More in more specifically, all the materials which are part of bill of materials must have price controllers. Other materials, spares and consumables, it is up to business. Even these materials also, if you want to have it actual costing, you need to have price controllers. If you do not validate at price controllers, and if you keep on validating at V also, you will get actual cost only, because here there will not be much price differences in case of spares and consumables. If you are using spares and consumables in BOM, then you need to use, even for spares and consumables materials also, price control should be yes. So in SAP, now we'll go and activate the material ledger control link, product costing, actual costing. Yeah, activate valuation areas for material ledger. Check material ledger. So the activation of material ledger, from configuration point of view, it looks very simple. Okay, we are just going inside and we are just activating the material ledger. Suppose for your plant, for your company code, there are, under your company code there are multiple plants assigned. Then you need to activate material ledger for all the plants. You cannot keep a few plants activated for material ledger and a few plants are not activated for material ledger. In such a cases also, material ledger will not work, because when we are doing business, we will be doing obviously stock transfers from one plant to another plant. So when you have such kind of transactions, even the price differences generated in one plant should also reflect in other plant of the finished goods. So then only the material ledger will work in a correct way, in a perfect way. So if you have multiple plants under our company code, the ML should be activated for all the plants. Okay, and once you activated material ledger, you cannot deactivate the material ledger after posting any kind of transactions. Even after creation of materials, or even after doing a kind of standard cost, or even after doing a single movement also, you cannot deactivate the material ledger. So I'll put them in a.
Sorry, Anand. What you said, like which kind of scenario is not possible? Something you said in the beginning.
No. See, suppose we have a company code 1. Under company code 1, you have plant 1, plant 2, plant 3, plant 4, like that you have up to plant 10. So when you are activating material ledger, you need to activate for all the plants. You cannot leave a couple of the plants active, a couple of the plants not activated for the material ledger, because see, we normally doing the stock transfers from one plant to the another plant. So plant 1 to plant 3, or else plant 2 to plant 4, we do the stock transfers. So normally, in case, suppose you have a depot, okay, you have a sales depot and you have a manufacturing plant. So you have created the sales depot as a plant. So you are transferring the stock from the manufacturing plant to the sales plant. Then in the sales plant, if you want to have the correct actual cost for the materials, you need to activate even the sales plant also for material ledger. Suppose if you have not activated the material ledger for the sales plant, you will not get correct cost. Okay, so that is what I am going to say. if you do not activate a material ledger for the sales plant, you cannot see at actual cost. It will be at standard price or else moving average price only. If you want to have true and fair actual cost, you need to activate the material ledger for all the plants under a company code. Okay, and then so once you activate the material ledger, once ML is activated, we cannot deactivate. Deactivate after transaction being posted. Even a single transaction also. So you need to keep in mind before activating the ML in the system for any plans, you need to have couple of business discussions with the business users and then decide. So once it is activated, a later point of time it cannot be activated. If they want to deactivate, then again it will become a big project. You need to deactivate and you need to create another plant. You need to completely close that plant. You need to transfer all the balances from that plant to other plant. You need to again release the standard cost. You need to do balance uploads for the new plant. So it will be a big exercise and it will become a big project. So we have to be very careful. And then so that's all about activation and how we do activate and when we do activate and when we do not activate.
Sorry, Anand, what is this price discrimination 1, 2, 3? You have
Yeah. That is what about activation, and then we have the field called price determination. So if you look at material master, for example, yeah, let us take this material. I'll go to the accounting one tab straight away. Yeah, so here you have the price determination 3, right? So see, the actual costing works in combination of price control and price determination. If price control is V and price determination is 2, that material will be valued at moving average price. Okay, and then if price control is S and price determination is 2, then that is valued at standard price only. You will not get actual cost. This material will be considered in ML run, but not considered for actual costing. In other words, but do not get actual cost. Okay, so whatever the standard cost we determine, the same cost will be available forever, and that material also will be valuated with the same cost for its lifetime. And in material master, the moving average price also will update. That is for information purpose. Moving average price calculated for information purpose. It will not be validated with moving average price. Okay, so basically this combination we put for byproducts and wastage kind of products, which have, in other words, which have very low value. Obviously when you say wastage means it will have very low value only. You don't do any business, you will not sell in the outside market, you will just consume, or else you will just give it as a free samples like that. So whenever you have you are creating materials with price control S and price determination T, 2, that particular material will be considered for ML run, but it is valuated at standard price only. Okay, that price will not reevaluate at the month end. And in material master, moving average price will be calculated for information purpose. So when do you put these price controls? This price control you keep it for byproducts and wastage kind of products. Next thing, yes, and price control 3. Okay, so here during whole month the material is valuated at standard price. Okay, and at month end at period end system will calculate the actual price. In SAP terminology, we call it as periodic unit price. Okay, and this PUP is only for a closed period, is applicable only for a closed period. Periodic unit price, and this PUP is applicable is this PUP is used for material valuation for a closed period. Okay, so in particularly in ML or else in ML, whenever you are taking the reports, you don't see any posting date. Okay, you will see only periods, so that for the closed period you will get the actual costing, because closed period means whenever we do the actual costing run, system will post all the documents on the last working day of the particular month, so that if you wants to see any reports in the between date, okay, system will not give the we will not get the actual cost. When you are taking the any material reports in module with the posting dates, which is not at last working day, then you will get values at standard price or else moving average price. But in ML or else in in material management also, whenever we are taking the reports on the last working day, we will get the stock value at actual cost. Okay, so this you can keep for all FG, all raw material, as we discussed yesterday, basically for all BOM materials. In other words, for all bill of material components, we keep this combination. One exception is byproduct, because byproduct also is a part of bill of material. Next, and
1 second, sorry, it's
Yeah.
not clear difference between 2 and 3. You said also byproduct in second and again 3 in the third also
yes,
byproduct.
you can see in the third line, for all BOM components, we keep this combination S and 3, except for byproduct.
Except for
Okay.
byproduct.
Yeah, for byproduct it is SN2.
What will happen if you keep 3 also for byproduct?
Yeah, if you keep 3 also, that material will be evaluated and the cost of the other materials will get reduced. Okay.
Okay, means it will deduct from the original material. You mean something?
It will deduct from the original materials and co-products. See, normally the byproduct is a part of BOM. Okay, one FG is there. Okay, for this FG you are using one raw material. You are using one raw material and one packing material, and also you are using some other raw material too, and then you are using one co-product 1 and 1 co-product 2 you are using. Okay, and then you are also using 3. Let us assume that you are using 3 co-products. Along with 3 products, you are using 1 byproduct. Means out of your production, you are getting 1 byproduct. See, the co-products also you will get out of production. So here, and then these are the BOM components, and then our normal cost is activity cost, which is labor, mission, and whatever, and then overhead cost. So the cost to produce this 1 FG is basically only these materials, right? You are using 2 raw materials and 1 packing material and some activities and some overhead costs you are incurring. So let us assume that the total cost is $10,000, but output you are getting 3 co-products you are getting along with this FG. Along this with this FG, you are getting 3 co-products output and 1 byproduct as another product which you are getting output. So this 1,000 rupees, this $10,000 has to distribute between FG and co-products and byproducts. So byproduct means wastage, okay, which will have no market value. Normally, how do you identify or how do you define a byproduct? In the sense, both co-products and byproducts are outputs in a production, but byproducts will not have any market value. This will be valued at very low and these co-products will have a fair market value which we can do business and which we can sell in the outside market. So you are incurring 10,000 and you are incurring $10,000 of cost and you are getting five products as output. So you have to distribute this $10,000 towards FG and towards co-product and towards byproduct. So let us assume that for co-products, after incurring certain process, I am getting co-product 1 as output. So till that time I have incurred $2,000. So I can say that I can distribute this 2,000 to co-product 1, and then I incurred $3,000 again. I have got co-product 2. Then I can distribute this 3,000 to co-product 2. At the same time, I incur one more $1,000 of cost. I incurred co-product 3. So after incurring 6,000, and then finally I incurred complete production, and then I got the final product, which will be having around the value of, like, for example, 4,990. Okay, and I'm getting some waste product that should be valued always at 10. Okay, so whenever you say that should be valued at always 10, that has to have price control S, and it should not be considered for the ML run. It has to consider in the actual costing run, but the price should not be changed. So in such a cases, you will keep the price control as S and price determination as 2. For example, if you keep price control as S and even the price determination also 3 for this material, you at the month end, this 10 will be valued at some different price, let us say 200 or some at higher price, and this will be deducted from the co-products or FG. You are getting my point?
If you keep a 3.
Yeah, if you keep 3, the byproduct value will get changed at the month end, but you don't want. Okay.
3. Okay. So only 2 or 3 difference means you want to change the price, like it means you want to load the difference or not. That's it, right?
Yeah.
Or is
you
there
want
any
to
other
load the
impact?
difference or not? Correct.
Okay. If you keep a 2, then where will the difference will go?
the differences will go to these materials, co-products and FGs.
Oh, okay.
Okay, if you keep 3, the production order difference or prime or purchase order differences, that will be considered, not only considered for these 4 materials, it will be considered this for the 5th material also. Okay, so that is why in such a cases, you for the byproducts, hard and fast rule is for the byproducts which will not be having market value, for those materials we can keep as S and 2. For co-products and SFGs and for FG and for raw material, we can keep it as S and 3. Okay. Then we have this price determination binding. Okay. So whenever you are
Uh,
creating material,
One
yeah,
second. If you keep 2 means it will record the material ledger. If you keep a 3, it will load the actual difference to main material, right? That is the only difference, or in practical terms?
yeah. If you keep 2, the price will not be changed. The standard price itself will be validated for the actual costing. If you keep 3, the standard price will be reevaluated with the actual costing. That is the only difference.
So if you
See
use the
here,
ML, then you have to keep 2 or 3, or you can also keep a blank.
no, blank is not possible. That is mandatory field. That is what. See,
Okay.
the combinations are SN2 and SN3. So there is no S and that is blank.
Blank. Okay.
SN2 and
And we
SN3. V means always it should be,
okay. And if you are
by
doing the moving
default it
average
will
price,
be
this
2.
is not
Yeah,
okay.
moving average
Does
price,
not
it
make
will
sense,
not be
right? To use
considered
V
for ML.
Yeah, because there is no difference anyway, right? So
Yeah, moving average price, it will not be considered at all. From the technical point of view, it will not be considered for ML actual costing run.
because in case of moving average price, there will not be difference, right? It's always average the price, isn't it?
Yeah, that
Or
is
is wrong
not
understanding?
always. Yeah, that is
Hmm?
not always. See, we discussed right in one class.
Price
Where is that?
difference, yeah. If there is inventory up, there is no inventory, something like that, right?
Right. Here. So, suppose if we consume before we receive invoice, or
Hmm.
else if we deliver the product before we do the settlement of the order. Okay. So in those 2 cases,
Hmm.
even if you are using V also, you will get price differences. The only difference is from the
Hmm.
technical point of view. If
Okay.
you have price control V, the ML tables will not be updated. The actual costing tables will not be updated.
So the difference, if you have anything, will go directly to like COPA if you do the settlement, isn't it?
No.
Or
It will,
no?
yeah, it will go to COPA. That's it, but it will not be inventorized.
Yeah, it will not inventory will be standard price. Yeah, whatever the
Will
price is there.
Yeah,
Depends.
inventory will be at moving average price only.
Moving
If it
average
is
price in
V,
case of V.
uh,
If
if
it's a
it is
yes, then
yes,
it's a standard.
yeah, if it
Okay,
is
clear.
yes, and ML is not there, the difference
Hmm.
will go to COPA. The
Hmm.
inventory will be validated at standard price. If it is yes, and we have activated ML with price determination 2, that particular material is validated always at standard price, and it will not be the material will
Okay.
not be reevaluated with actual price at the month end. If it is SN3,
Okay. Hmm.
if it is SN3 during whole month, it means for all the transactions, whatever business operations we are doing during whole month, it will be validated at standard price, and at the period end, system will consider this material for actual costing, and this material will be validated with periodic unit
Okay.
price, which is actual costing.
Okay. Understand. And just maybe I don't know, it's too late to ask. This split valuation, in case of we have the valuation type, then what will be the
Then
situation
also,
here?
yeah, see
Uh,
here valuation type will come. See higher
okay.
material, header material will have price control V. Okay,
Hmm.
header material will have price control V, and child material, valuation type material, will have price control S and price determination 3. Okay,
So
because
header will be have the V without any 1, 2, 3.
that will have only valuation category. Without that will we don't when it is V, price determination will not be applicable.
No,
It
but
will be
here
always
V is
2
a 2,
only.
na?
Yeah, 2 only.
Okay. So that means here also V2 and S3.
Yeah,
Header will be
higher.
V2 and
Yeah, header material is will be with V and 2.
hmm.
See, I'll 1 second. I'll put.
Yeah, you can write here, na, this 2. If you keep
Yeah,
blank, then is uh,
I'll keep here. See, normally in split valuation, I'll give an example. See, we have you have a product. Okay, let us take which is not available in India. Can you give an example? Any
available in
any food
India.
related any item which is not available in India and we will get imported.
Let's you just take any example. Yes, right.
For example, cocoa. Okay,
Cocoa.
cocoa beans.
Mm.
Okay, cocoa beans are there. Okay, so
Mm.
cocoa beans materials we do not have in India. There are no crops in India. Okay, and and we have to get imported from different countries, and we when we are getting imported we don't buy regularly. Okay, suppose in January you have bought, okay, at one cost. Let us take you have got one container, okay, which is valued at 1 lakh USD. Okay, and then in May you have bought another container. The container is same, product is same, but this time the value is changed. Let us say around 1,80,000 USD. Okay, so whenever you are doing business, suppose here you have 1,000 kg or else 10 tons. Let us say here you receive 10 tons and here also you receive 10 tons. So whenever you are doing business with this lot, okay, with this container, that material that lot should value at 10,000 divided by 10 per ton. It should be only 1,000 USD. So and whenever you are consuming stock or from this lot, it should value at 180. Okay, it should value at 1,800. So if you want the material product is same, here the product is M1 only. Okay, here the product also M1 and here also it is M1 only, but you want to have a separate value. You want to evaluate the same material with separate valuations. So in these situations, for January lot you will create one valuation type 1, and for here you will create a valuation type 2. So whenever you have split valuation, we don't post any transactions or any business with the header material. In our case, header material is cocoa beans. Okay, for this material we don't do this in system. There will not be any stock available, and there will not be any transactions also. But for this material, we create a separate valuation types. One is valuation type 1, another one is valuation type 2, so that each valuation type will be valuated at a different value. Okay, so in these cases transactions will be available only at valuation type level. transactions will be available only at valuation type level. Okay, valuation type level means lower level, not at the higher level, not at the header level, where valuation type is not available. So we do all postings. Okay, whenever we are receiving the goods like 101 movement or 102 movement, when we are doing transactions on the screen, we will enter a valuation type or else batch. A batch one field will be there. So with the help of batch also, valuation time will be determined. So all the transactions will be bifurcated with material and valuation type combination level. So you understand this point, right? This concept,
understand.
split valuation.
Understood.
So,
And the header,
so for
in the
this,
header level, okay, you finish
yeah,
first. Yeah, then I'll ask.
yeah, in the header level, and again here in header level, we don't keep any valuation types. We keep only valuation
V2.
category.
Okay.
Valuation category we keep, and it is V and comma 2. Combinations are V and 2. Okay. At child level, we keep valuation type. Okay. And price controls are S and 3. So if you look at the SAP screens here, yeah. So here you have this valuation category, right? I'll show you one example. Yeah, I have created one material called PCA1 FGV1, for example. I'll go to accounting one tab. Press enter. I'll just give PCA1. I'm not giving any valuation type here. Okay, I'm just giving a plant. Press enter. Here you can see valuation category as H. Okay, and price control is V. Price determination is 3. There is no
2.
other field. Yeah, 2. Sorry, there is no other
Yeah.
field for valuation type. Okay, the same material I will open in another screen.
And then, yeah, and then for price is different for different valuation type then, right?
Yeah, it should be. So I'll create another material. Same material I use MM03. Press enter. Go to accounting 1. Okay. So here, along with plant, I will give a valuation type also. Okay. So if you see here, you can see the valuation type. Here you don't see valuation type, and here you can see accounting 1, costing 2 tabs, 4 tabs you can see, and price valuation category is updated, but no valuation type. Here valuation category and valuation type, but costing tabs will not be available here. Okay, at lower level costing tabs will not be available, and price control is S and 3. Okay,
So costing tab only in the header level, yeah?
only in header level.
What is the reason? Like costing should be there in the lower, right? No?
I don't know.
Okay.
Because
Yes.
we do costing for higher material, correct? We do standard costing for higher material, so that it will be the costing will be distributed to lower levels.
But how system know which valuation type they has to have that?
See, we have
He
separate
has
for
to
that
take.
we have to do separate front end activities where we
Uh,
need to maintain some ratios for a particular higher material. These two are the two separate valuation type materials. and how the
It is
cost
a
should be.
config or
No, it is not config, it is front end.
okay.
Okay. Yeah. So we were discussing again this field, about this field, price determination binding. So the moment you create a material, system automatically updates a price control. So that depends upon this this price determination. If you keep it as 2, it will be updated with 2. If you keep it as 3, when you create the material, it will be updated with 3. So if you keep this tick mark, you cannot change the price determination control after the material creation. But normally we don't keep it as this. We don't keep this checkbox. And again, this is again depends upon your business requirement. Suppose in your business, irrespective of spares and consumables, whatever the material they are going to create, if it should have price control 3, then you can keep this checkbox applicable, so that the moment material gets created, it will be created with price determination 3, and later it cannot be changed with anyone. Okay, that is one option. And for example, for spares and consumables, you want to go with 2, and for FG and SFGs, which are BOM components, you want to go with 3. Then you keep as 2 and don't put this tick mark, so that you can change that price determination of BOM components from 2 to 3 later. You understand this point?
So
Is it
this
clear?
2 and 3 is on the plant level, right?
Yeah,
And the material will be, you can have the 2 material, you can have the material, yeah.
yeah,
And this control you can have 2 or 3. It's depend on the material, how like is the main product or is the byproduct.
no,
Right.
that is partially correct. See, I'll tell you. Suppose if you have a business, in your business, business is confirm that all materials can have price determination 3. Okay, then you keep price determination 3 and what is that field? Binding. Price determination binding. You can keep enable, so that later no one can change. Suppose few materials like yeah, for spares, consumables, business wants to have 2, and for other materials price determination should be 3. Then how system will know? System will not know, right, which material they are going in. At this point of time, system will not know. Okay, price control we can fix from the material type, but price determination system will not know. So that is why the moment we create the material, let it be for all the materials as 2, and we don't enable this binding field, so that before posting any transactions, for before posting any transactions for other materials. Okay, other means here other. In this line I said others, right? So for others, other means for BOM components. Okay, we can change the price determination from 2 to 3. Okay. So if you want to do this, if you want to change from 2 to 3, you should not keep this binding. Okay.
And this is before inventory movement, right? And once you have the
Yeah,
inventory movement,
before posting any transaction. When I said before posting any transaction,
yeah.
you should change from 2 to 3.
And suppose if you post anything, so you're not allowed to change, or is there any possibilities are there still?
See there. Suppose if you change from, sorry, come again. If you change from,
No, no. If you have that two without binding, and then you have
hmm,
some transactions, so still are
hmm,
you allowed to change somehow, or it is impossible?
system will allow. I think
Hmm.
system will allow. It will not stop.
Okay. No, just asking. Yeah, no problem.
Yeah, but till that point, if
Hmm.
any transactions are posted, those I think system will not work
Take
in
in take
properly.
in Copa, take in not again. Sorry, Copa also. Yeah, product costing.
ML.
Sorry, HL costing. Yeah. Hmm.
Yeah, it will not work
Hmm.
in a proper way. Okay.
Correct, correct.
So normally, so what we used to do, we create all the materials with two price determination two. Okay, and there is a transaction called CKMM. So with the help of CKMM, we change from 2 to 3 depending upon the material type. So for example, for spares and consumables, we use different material types, and for other materials, we use different material types, right? So we keep all the material types in CKMM and we change from 2 to 3 before posting any transactions. Any transactions is before we update standard cost. We
So you
change it
update
to
in that
2.
transaction. So in Material Master automatically it will change.
Sorry, Krishna.
In CKMM, if we do this 2 to 3, in Material Master it will
It,
update.
it will automatically change. So instead of going one by one, we go by CKMM. In
It's kind of
CKMM,
mass transaction.
yeah,
Kind of.
CKMM, it is a mass transaction. Here
Okay.
we directly change from 2 to 3.
Okay.
Okay. So yeah, for example, you see this. So this is the transaction code, and here we need to give what is the old price determination. Old price determination is 2, and what is the new price determination is 3. What is the new price control is S. Okay, and then we will execute this. It will give output like this. Okay, for these materials, system is changing. See, I don't want to change for split valuation material. These are split valuation materials. So system is changing here, but I don't want to do that. So then I'll take here price control S materials, and then I will execute. It is avoided. Okay. So this I will this complete flow I will cover before posting any transactions.
Yeah, fine.
Okay, we
See,
create
can we do Anand, can we do scenarios like one material will have S2 and one material have
yeah,
S3 S.
we include one byproduct.
Okay.
Okay, and we'll see how system will calculate the actual cost in the ML.
Okay.
Okay, so this is how this is what the see from the configuration point. It's only 10 steps, but there is a lot of information we should know about the each field in the particularly in ML, because here once you do any change or once you make any activation, you cannot change later. So that is why we have to be very careful while making this configuration. So I'm saving this. I am so PCA 3, right? Sorry. So for PCA 3, I am activating ML and I am keeping price determination as 2. It means at the creation time, the price determination field will be updated with 2. You can see after activating material ledger, live data must be converted. on next. So you remember when we discussed about material ledger benefits in the, I think in the first class. Here we can see the inventory in multiple currencies. Okay, here I said that we can see the inventory values in multiple currencies. In ECC we can see in three currencies only. In S4 HANA it is possible to see the inventory value more than three currencies. So that
But
configuration.
ML is still three.
Sorry.
ML is still three currency. We have 10 currency, but ML is still three currency.
No, I think we can have more currencies also in
Okay.
S4 HANA. Yeah, because I have gone through a press book, ML S4 HANA press book. Okay, where they have mentioned that we can have more than three currencies.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah, so that is why I am mentioning here. But I worked for one project. There also they have used only three currencies. They have not used more than three, even it is S4 HANA. Because
As far as I know, like even in S4
Yeah.
HANA, like asset accounting in ML, both, yeah, both has the three currencies still. Okay, but we can check this. Yeah, no problem.
Yeah. So we
Okay.
can see this configuration inventory values. Looking at the inventory values in multiple currencies, that configuration we do here. Okay. So if you look at the front end screen, not here. Yeah, I'll take one material. Yeah, I'll take this. I'll go to accounting one. See, someone is making change. Yeah. Someone is changing this group currency to INR because we did configuration with euro. So this is group currency.
Euro.
Yeah, we did all settings. We did I did ML and ML startup and this also with euro. But someone is changing to INR. So MM03. Yeah, FG2. Yeah, here you can see, right? So here prices and values you can see three currencies here. Okay, one is company code currency, another one is group currency, one is hard currency. So basically these three currencies are from OB22. So in OB22 you can see that we have defined three currencies. One is company code currency, one is group currency, other one is hard currency. So that configuration we see here. Yeah, assign currency types to material ledger. So in ECC recommends, okay, to go with the standard material ledger type. Standard material ledger type means currencies from FI and currencies from CO. So that is why I can able to see here company code currency, group currency, hard currency. So that our all transactions will be reconciled. In particularly in ECC, SAP is recommend to go with currency type from FI and currency type from CO. So that our all financials, FI transactions and ML transactions will be reconciled always. And if you want to see other currencies, okay, we normally we don't do this configuration, but I'll explain. So here we have to keep these manual currencies and we need to go inside. So here you can see, you can select the currency types. So if you take a drop down here, see currency type 30, currency type 30, 10 is company code currency, and 20 is controlling any currency, 30 is group currency. Okay, so if you are doing group valuation, profit center valuation, then you can select different currency types also. Here it is following a sequence, a kind of logic. 10 is company code currency, 11, 10 plus 1 is company code currency group valuation, 12 company code currency profit center valuation. At the same time, 30 is group currency, 31 is group currency and group valuation, 32 is group currency and profit center valuation. So if we are doing, if your business is doing the in different valuations also, group valuation and profit center valuation, then we can select these currency types. But here only 3 currencies only possible. Even if I select a new currency type here, and if I take 30, system will give error. Maximum of 3 currencies and valuations are permitted here. So in ECC, SAP is recommending that to go with standard material ledger type, where the currencies are from FI and CO. And we no need to do new one here. And then we need to assign these material ledger types to our plant. So by default, it will be activated, it will be assigned here. PCA 3, we have assigned the 000 material ledger type. And then material ledger number ranges. This we do as part of FI number ranges only.
1 second, Anand. This assignment of, can you go to the assignment screen 1 second? Yeah, here. So here we can have different plant, different material ledger type, right?
No.
No?
If several plants are there under a company code, you must have same ML type to all plants. See, again, it is
Okay.
plants are linked to company code, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that is why if you have multiple plants, all the plants should have same in ECC. Okay, maybe in S4 HANA it is possible to have different valuation. Yeah, it is possible in S4 HANA. In S4 HANA, we can have different ML types. We can assign different ML types.
So here, if you assign, it will give the error or what?
Yeah, maybe it will give error. See, they have mentioned here also somewhere. You can allocate one material ledger type to each, okay, each valuation area, and this must contain the currency type 10. So this is the minimum prerequisite requirement. Company code currency must, it should have, and then you can allocate same material ledger type to several valuation area. If you have several valuation areas within single company code, you must assign all valuation areas in this company code to the same material ledger type.
Okay.
Okay.
Understood.
So even SAP also telling you should have same material ledger. See, material ledger type means currency type, right? Currency type means it makes sense for a company code available for a plants available under a
Uniform.
company code.
Yeah.
Yeah, it should be uniform, right?
Yeah.
Because the transactions also it will not be good.
Yeah.
And next, this number range. This we did as a part of FI number range only. Basically, for ML, system will post a document type with called ML. Where is that ML here? Yeah, here. So when we do ML settlement post closing, system will use this document type, material ledger. Okay, that is why here you can see the account types also. It will be allowed only for material and GL accounts. And then configure dynamic price changes. Okay. So many people, many businesses, they usually ask this question. Okay. So for this month, for May month, Yeah, for May month, I am running an actual, I have run an actual costing, and I got my PUP as $1,000, and the standard price is $800. Okay, so business, normally the traditional practice and best practice is we ask the business will revise the bombs and routings so that the standard, the new standard price also very near to 2000, which is PUP. Okay, so normally when they do a month closing, they will observe, business people, the business users, they will observe what is my PUP and what is my standard cost. So there is a report also, which will show in a same report what is the PUP and what is the standard price. So they will come to know, oh, for this material I need to change my standard price, because every month there are a lot of differences and actual costing is not getting equal to the standard price. So in such a situations, they have to revise all the bombs and routing so that they will get the standard price also, which equal to the previous month actual cost. But that is a time consuming activity for them, because they have to revise all bombs and routings. So that is why they will ask, no, I want this $1,000 PUP should reflect automatically as a standard price. Okay, so that is the option, that is the configuration of the dynamic price changes. So in ML, sorry, in month closing, see, we have a last step after post closing. We have a step called mark material prices. Okay, so if you want to have the actual cost calculated in this particular costing run for the future periods as a standard cost, we need to do this configuration. We need to just activate this configuration here. So I'll just activate. You need to activate for all the plans available under your company code. So normally business people, it is not that much easy. There are many technical challenges are available here for this dynamic price changes. So that is why normally we don't encourage to do this. And next step, reasons for price changes. You want to continue today, or we'll see tomorrow? Hello?
Yeah, we'll see tomorrow. Means it's continue is good, but I have to. Hello.
Yeah,
We'll
see
continue
tomorrow.
tomorrow.
Yeah. Okay, I'm stopping the recording.